Welcome to this first in a series of screencasts on obtaining and manipulating real-world microdata. These screencasts are key to statistics and economics courses at Wabash College, but they should prove useful to others as well. In this first screencast, we'll introduce you to one of the most important sources of microdata, IPUMS, which is the Integrated Public Use Microdata Series. IPUMS is produced and maintained by the Minnesota Population Center. Because it is so well organized and because IPUMS contains very important data sets, it is a great place to start in learning how to download and manipulate microdata. IPUMS maintains a variety of data sets, but we're going to concentrate on the current population survey for now. The first step with IPUMS is to obtain an account. This is pretty simple. Things to note are that you need to give IPUMS your email address, and you'll also need to construct a password. That password should be easy to remember and doesn't have to be super secure. To obtain an account, go to the login page and request an account. Let's go back to home and learn more about the data in IPUMS-CPS. There's lots of information on the documentation page and in frequently asked questions. For now, let me just note that the CPS is a monthly survey that began in 1940 and was designed to collect information on the labor force, specifically to accurately measure the unemployment rate. Nowadays, about 70,000 households are surveyed each month. About 200,000 people live in those households. The number surveyed rises to 90,000 households in March, and in the March survey, the CPS also asks more questions than the usual monthly surveys. Now let's turn our attention to the variables by clicking on Browse and select Data. We'll go to Person and then Core Demographics. On this screen, you can see several different things. First of all, Add to Cart. You click on the circles to select a variable for downloading. Second, the names of the variables. Third, the variable labels, which tell you something about each variable. Fourth, the type, which in this screen is always person. Fifth, codes. And finally, a list of the samples which contain these variables. Let's click on Age to get some more information on that particular variable. At this screen, there are several tabs which are going to be helpful to us. The description is pretty straightforward. It tells us that age is the age of the person at his or her last birthday. Comparability tells us first that this variable is comparable with age as recorded in IPUMS USA, another very valuable data source. But it also tells us a couple things that we need to bear in mind. First, there's something called top coding. We'll come back to that. But second, and this is somewhat troubling, there may be some inaccurate age values for several years of the surveys. Let's skip over that for now and go to universe. Universe is an important concept. For a particular question in the survey, universe means that group of people who are asked the question. For example, in a question about how many children a person has given birth to, the universe likely would only include females above the age of 12. Thus, universe answers the question, for whom do we have information on this particular variable? In this case, however, age is asked of everybody. Next, codes. Here we learn about top codes. From 2004 onward, older people are listed as being either 80 years old if they are in the range 80 to 84 years, or 85 if they are aged 85 and above. Top coding is often done to protect people's privacy. A good example of that is top coding of income. Availability. This variable is available for every CPS in the IPUMS database. That means the March current population surveys, which start back in 1962, all the monthly current population surveys for 1994 till 2010, and for the last 2 years, just the March 2011 and March 2012 CPSs. This screencast is being recorded in 2013. I hope that more data will enter IPUMS in the future. Flags. It turns out that in some cases, the current population survey guesses about people's age. That's what you would discover if you clicked on Q Age. Let's skip that for now. We can return to our original screen by going to Core Demographic for persons, or by clicking on the home page, then Browse and select Data, Person, Core Demographic. You can always get back to where you need to be. For now, let's choose age and sex to be downloaded. That's it for now. In this screencast, I described IPUMS briefly, showed you how to obtain an IPUMS account, and explained how to learn about variables that you may wish to download. Come back to the next screencast, where we'll talk about how to select the samples and download the data. Thank you.